Scandinavian Bob here, hi. You know, when you surf YouTube, you mostly see NoFap YouTubers shouting out all the benefits. And yeah, I do that myself because, well, there are many NoFap benefits. However, there is something about NoFap that almost no one talks about. Now, it's not like this happens to everyone, but it is common enough that it needs to be talked about, and that is loneliness. Yeah, you see, when some guys start to be able to go for pretty long streaks, sure, they notice some benefits, but they may also start noticing something unpleasant. It is like they suddenly have this dark hole in their soul. Now, that hole is actually screaming for connection, either in form of a romantic partner or just social connection in general. It's not that strange, really, because so many guys use adult sites as an escapism, trying to run away from things like stress, social anxiety, or feelings that they are not where they want to be in life, and loneliness. And using adult sites can actually be quite effective at masking these problems since it's so dopamine driven. And not only that, when you are using adult sites, a part of your brain actually thinks you have a lot of status, connections, and hot girlfriends. It literally thinks you are spreading all kinds of genes. So for a lot of guys, adult sites have actually been quite effective for masking loneliness. But then when guys go on an NoFap journey and tear themselves away from the screen, many of them are left with the bitter truth. They are suddenly hit with feelings of loneliness and start realizing how they are longing for some social connection, and even worse, a lot of them still have social anxiety and are afraid to connect with people. Then many of them go, hey, I thought NoFap was supposed to fix my life. What the hell is this? Well, that's not a good attitude to have. Should and suppose are two words you need to be careful with, because nothing should or is supposed to do anything for you. The word does not owe you anything. Now, if something good happens, that's great, embrace it, but ultimately, you need to be able to take full responsibility for your life. Now, sure, a lot of guys belong in the lucky group that do get a lot of benefits, and they might even get rid of social anxiety completely. But just quitting a PMO addiction doesn't have to mean everything will suddenly be great. However, if you are one of those who have social anxiety and feel lonely on NoFap, don't you see that NoFap is still giving you something here? It has lifted the fog, making you see clearly what you need to fix in your life. You need to start taking massive action and start putting yourself out there. Start by taking really small steps, but start right now. Do something that scares you every single day. Keep challenging yourself and then watch yourself grow. NoFap did actually help you in this case. It has pinpointed your problems and showed you the path you must take. Now, I know what I'm talking about here because I had to do this myself. You see, NoFap doesn't kill social anxiety for everyone. Now, sure, NoFap did help to reduce my social anxiety a bit, but I'm genetically predisposed for anxiety, and somewhere in the middle of my reboot, I started to realize that no one is coming to my rescue. Not my parents, not fate, and not even NoFap. And I had to start taking massive action and start coping with my social anxiety. Now, if you are an introvert like me, you may perhaps not need much of a social life, but you do need some. And the fact that you have a black hole in your soul screaming at you, well, that's all the evidence you should need there. Maybe you want a romantic partner, your own family, or just some more friends. But whatever it is, you are the one who has to start taking action. So start now. Start where you are. Start with fear. Start with pain. Start with doubt. Start with hands shaking. Start with voice trembling. But start. Start and don't stop. Start where you are with what you have. Just start. Lastly, as overcoming a PMO addiction can be a bit tricky, if you find yourself struggling and failing again and again, then perhaps consider getting some help. You can, for example, reach out to me for a one-on-one coaching session, but I'm not just saying that to promote myself here. No, you can just as well seek out some local therapist in your area or find some other help. But if you have been trying for more than 6 months and you keep relapsing, you should really consider doing something with someone, because unfortunately addiction is progressive, meaning it tends to get worse over time. If you need help, then there is also the possibility of doing an online course at your own pace. In order to know what courses I should recommend, I have been checking out a special system, and I really have to say it produces phenomenal results. This is a course using something called habit construction therapy, which is a powerful thing, especially when it comes to quitting addiction to adult sites. And that, in combination with the fact that the course is created by a licensed therapist who has personal experiences with having to overcome his own addiction to adult sites, well, this makes the system work extremely well. It's quite unique, really. So if that's something that could be of interest to you, then I recommend you sign up to a free webinar where Josh Hudson tells you more about the principles behind this method, and then you can decide what to do from there. You can find a link to that webinar right under this video. Just click the link where it says webinar and it'll take you there. I will also include a link to my own coaching down there if you'd rather get coached by me, or then don't do anything with either of us, but do something with someone, because life is too short to waste it on addiction to adult sites. This is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today, and as always, I wish you all the best in your journey to become the strongest version of yourself. And remember, as Winston Churchill used to say, if you are going through hell, keep going.